Recording. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. A lot to talk about. Just want to give you, this is one of those quick update videos that, you know, once again, it's going to be talking. So, well, no, it's going to be important talking. Stuff like that. First of all, an update on the fall drive, the Model 3 fall drive that's coming up in a few days in the GTA. It's sold out. I have to, it's basically sold out. It's not officially sold out, but it's basically sold out because right now we have over 50 cars, or around 50 cars confirmed. And then there's a bunch on Facebook, on the Facebook event that are possible. There's probably another, at least another 50 that are possible. So they haven't confirmed with me, and I'm hoping, I want everyone to come and I want everyone to have fun, but I had to cap it. I had to say, you know what, 50 is enough, because logistically speaking, looking at what we're doing. So if you're hearing this and you're in the GTA and you're like, oh, I never heard about this, sorry, we'll have to do one next time, and you can come to that one, but unless you've already signed up, you can't come to this one. And I mean, it sounds stupid to say you can't come to it, because it's like one of those things that anybody can come to anything they want. It's a free country, right? And I get it, right? It's a public supercharger, it's a public road and everything, but I'm just gonna have to say, you know what, hold off, because like I was getting at before, I got off on a tangent. 50 cars, that's fine. 25 from the west location, which is the Mississauga supercharger, and 25 from the east location, which is the Markham location, going up to 400, and that's great. Like, I'd love to see 50 Model 3s and a couple Model S's going up there, like I said earlier, and that'll be great. But the problem is, when we get up to Huntsville, there's only 8 chargers, and out of those 50, from what I can see, we're looking at about a dozen of those being SR Pluses, the standard range. So and I've made it very clear to them, and if you're one of those that have already said you're coming and you've committed, and you haven't seen my updated email or post about things that I need you to do, or just not sort of like rules and regs, but I don't want to make it ruly. Anyways, check that out if you haven't. But in a nutshell, if you haven't, the most important thing if you're an SR Plus owner is make sure you're full when you leave either Markham or Mississauga, because you're gonna need the charge, folks. You're definitely gonna need it. It's 2 to 2.5 hours away. I think something like 230 kilometers. But right now the forecast calls for rain, and a lot of rain, which is going to sort of leave a little dampener on it. And I hope you come even whether it's raining or not, because it's going to be rain or shine. Yeah, it's not going to be sunny, but you'll still have the fall colors and everything, and the drive will be the same. It's rain, so it'll be warm though. It'll be like 15 degrees right now. Today's Thursday, and it's not for another 3 or 4 days, so it may change. I'm hoping, I have my fingers crossed that the weather could improve a little bit, but right now it looks like it's going to rain. So SR Plus people, make sure your battery is charged fully. And if you're coming from a distance to get to the supercharger to meet up with us, you know, judge yourself accordingly for when you need to leave, because we're leaving at 10 o'clock. So if you know you're going to fill up at home, but it's going to take you 30% to get to the supercharger, and you're going to get there at 70%, and you need another 30%. Remember, anything after 80%, it slows down, and that last 10-20% is slow. So keep that in mind. So if you need to get to the supercharger at 9 a.m., because like I said, we're leaving at 10, and I don't want to leave anyone behind, but we've got a tight schedule, so we're gonna have to leave. So act accordingly. If you need to get there at 9 or 8:30, just to be sure, folks, do that. Get there early, charge up, top up. The performance guys and the all-wheel drive guys, their consumption isn't as good as this one here in the long-range rear-wheel drive. The long-range guys, charge up as much as you can, but we won't have a problem. I've calculated it using the Better Route Planner that if we charge up to 100% or close there, like 95 to 100%, going up there even in the rain, even with that temperature, we'll still get up to Huntsville with about 35-40%, which will give us enough. Even if we don't charge in Huntsville, you can top up a little bit or do a little splash and dash when you're ready to leave. But if you don't top up in Huntsville, you still have enough to make it to Barrie Supercharger. So keep that in mind, folks. But this video wasn't about the follow drive. I just wanted to touch on that, and we're already 6 minutes in, 5 minutes in. Okay, what I want to talk about is V10 and Smart Summon and how it's been going for me. I've had it for about, what, 2 weeks now. I think the US has had it for a month and everything. Third quarter results came in on that conference call. Elon says that next week we're getting update to Smart Summons where it's going to be more refined and stuff like that. It's been over 1 million people using Smart Summon since it came out. It's like not 1 million people, sorry, 1 million uses, or yeah, 1 million uses, over 1 million uses. So they've got a lot of data, valuable data to work with, and they were able to tweak and enhance it, and it's supposed to be a lot smoother. But problem I have with Smart Summons, Summon, not Summons, no S in it, Summon, is that my problem is I get this error message. Yeah, I get this error message that says every now and then, more now than then, it says when I go into Smart Summon or into the app and everything, it says an issue was encountered when reading camera data or data, whatever you want to say it. So I can't get out of that. I've searched the forums, I've searched Google, I've searched everywhere. One person brought up the issue on the Tesla Motor Club forum, I think it was, and he mentioned shutting some things off and putting it to sleep. Basically, I have a feeling, I've done a lot of testing with this. I don't know why the camera is so dark here. Yeah, I've done a lot of testing with this, folks, and the only thing I can find where the issue is, it's got to be something to do with the firmware. It's a deep sleep issue, because I find when the car goes into a deep sleep or goes to sleep, if you park it overnight and stuff like that, it comes back on. The problem is when it comes back on and I drive out of my driveway and I drive across the street to test it out in a private parking lot, it goes again. So I found one little workaround, but you know what? Like I said, I've tried everything. I thought maybe it was the this SSD. So I changed that out. I unplugged it. I played around with Sentry, played around with the dash cam, everything. Nothing seemed to work. I even took it into Tesla in Oakville at the service center, and they looked at it, and I spoke to the techs to see if they've ever encountered it, or if it's a known issue and it's going to be fixed in the next release or anything like that. And even they, like 3 or 4 of the techs, haven't seen this issue at all. So they say they want me to record it and stuff like that. They figure that Tesla probably does know about it. I don't know, because it's so rare. Like I said, I can't find it anywhere, that I don't even think Tesla knows about it. Anyways, going to autopilot here. I'm on the highway, so I don't think Tesla knows about it. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the next update, which what I was talking about originally, will address it and solve the issue. But I don't know. I'm not holding my breath, because I don't know if it's a known problem. I think, and I have somebody I know that's a mobile tech service guy, technician, and I sent him the issue and everything like that, and he seems to think it's a firmware issue, where I got a bad upload of the firmware or something to do with the firmware, and that's not something I can easily get reflashed. It has to go through Cali. So the workaround that I found, now that I'm in autopilot, I'll show you on this camera here. So what I found that I have to do to get it to work, and it doesn't always work the first time or the second time, but always the third time. Sometimes the second time, but definitely the third time. So what I've determined is I'm going to turn off anything that has to do with the camera, because that's what the message is saying, camera data, right? So anything that has to do with camera. So I go into autopilot, I turn off, I'm not going to do it now because I'm in autopilot, I turn off auto steer, I turn on navigate on autopilot, I turn off summons, I go down here, this should be actually on, I forgot to turn it back on. I turn off forward collision warning, I turn off lane departure avoidance. Once again, I forgot to put these on. I turn these off, and once again I forgot to turn them back on. I turn these off, all 4 of them. The emergency lane departure avoidance, the blind spot collision warning chime, the automatic emergency braking, the obstacle awareness, aware acceleration. I turn all that off. Then I go up here, I hold my finger down on the button for dash cam, I turn that off. When I'm parked, I turn off Sentry mode. because that's usually on. Slowing down here. Then after all the camera related functions are off, I come down here to safety and security. I come down here, make sure the sentry is off, like I said, and then I power down. And when I power down, I have to sit in the car because any movement, if I open the door or anything like that, it'll wake back up. When I power down for anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes, I sit in the car, I don't move. This is the tedious and boring part, and it sounds stupid that I have to do this, but I have to do this. And I let it just do its thing for, like I said, 3 or 5 minutes, and then after that I put my foot on the brake, wakes the car up, then I turn everything on one by one. The first thing I turn on is I turn on summon, and then I turn on the other stuff that I've turned off. Like I said, I forgot to turn these off earlier, but I should have. And I turn everything back on, and then I go into the app and see if it works. Like I said, usually doesn't work the first time, so I do it again, and it sometimes works the second time, and then if it doesn't, I do it again, and then every time, for sure, the third time, and keep in mind, this is anywhere from like 12 to 15 minutes later, it'll work. So I've got this long ordeal process that I've got to go through, but then it works the third time. And then it'll work for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, it'll go again. I've had it working for the last few days, and it hasn't gone off. And you know what? The funny thing is that it hasn't gone off. Looking down here, I've had these stuff off that I forgot to turn back on, with the emergency lane departure avoidance, blind spot collision, and forward collision, and a lane departure avoidance. I've had these off for the last few days. Like I said, I forgot to turn back on, and it's been working. So I'm wondering if something in here has to do with it. Like maybe I'm getting down to the actual, I'm focusing on the actual issue. Might be those. Anyways, my question to you folks is, if you're watching this and you have FSD or enhanced autopilot where it allows you to have smart summon, have you ever encountered this problem? This is the long way of asking you. Have you ever encountered this problem? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you've encountered it, if you've got a fix for it, if I'm on the right track, or I'm just doing this stuff for nothing and it's just by fluke. I'd really like to know. So let me know in the comments below if you guys are experiencing this, or you've heard about it, or heaven forbid, if you're a Tesla technician, a mobile tech or anything, and you heard about this and you know what the fix is. Not that not that mobile techs are listening to my channel, or they are or they're not, but if you know somebody that's a mobile tech and you can help me out by throwing this question towards them. Not that the Oakville guys are inept in their job or anything, but it may just never have come up to them, right? So I'm not slagging them, but leave a comment below. I would love to know, because like I said, I'm hoping the next update will address it, but even if it doesn't address it, because like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with, I don't think it's a widespread problem that Tesla addressed it. But even if they didn't address it, I'm hoping they did, but even if they didn't address it, I'm hoping that with the new update, it will fix my firmware if it was a firmware issue where it just got a bad kernel, or I don't know. I'm not a techie that hardcore. I've been called worse. So let me know in the comments below, and if not, then I'm just gonna wait for next week, and hopefully we get the update, and hopefully everything works, because I like using smart summon. When it works great. And I had a video working just a few days ago in a Canadian Tire parking lot. Pissed off a couple people that were behind it, but it's gonna do that, and hopefully next week's rendition of it or version of it is a lot smoother, and maybe it won't piss people off as much. But you know, that's smart summon. Some people say there's no actual use case for it, but I think there is at times. You just gotta watch when you use it. Look at all these giant propane tanks or gas tanks. God, if those were to fall. Anyways, that's all I got, folks. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I've got more stuff coming in the future, as we know. I took a little lull. If you're interested in that fall drive and you can't make it, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be organizing things and coordinating things as I go along. So either I might bring a camera person, aka my wife, or I'll do my best to take as many videos and pictures and everything and put together a small little vlog on that. That is Sunday. If you've already signed up, I'm excited. I'll see you guys there. and it'll be a good drive up. If you haven't signed up, unfortunately, like I said, it's going to be a little bit too late, but we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. I can't believe I did that all in one take. Oh, my God. Awesome.